Katimavik, which means meeting place in the Inuktitut language, was born from the vision of a humanist, Mr. Jacques Hébert, with the help of his friend Pierre Elliott Trudeau, Canada's Prime Minister at the time. Right from the beginning, Katimavik offered youth the possibility to engage in volunteer service. Its founder wanted to give young Canadians from all walks of life the chance to discover their country, live in a group, and be involved in communities. Learning Canada's official languages and protecting the environment have always been an integral part of the program. Through Katimavik, Hébert hoped to foster intercultural exchanges, give hope to youth with limited opportunities, and raise their awareness of all the country's realities. What motivated Hébert most of all in the early days of the program was young people's need to communicate and get to know each other. In January 2010, a group of young people from Katimavik became part of Maillardville, the historical French-speaking community in Greater Vancouver. For 3 weeks, they embarked on a journey of exploration and discovery. They were given the task of creating an environmental and community awareness project for presentation at local schools in Maillardville, initially envisioned as a collage depicting their observations of this unique community. In their first week as part of the Maillardville community, they got to know their surroundings and prepared for the project ahead. Their first stop was a visit to Minikata Park in the foothills north of Port Coquitlam to see an example of the richness of the local flora and fauna. They then began their exploration of Maillardville, taking pictures and recording their observations. They received a historical account of the region at Mackin House and spent several days exploring the community's streets and its forested watershed, the Como watershed, a small but ecologically important system that runs through South Coquitlam. During their second week in Maillardville, they spent several days working on restoring the forested area containing Booth Creek and Popeye Creek, tributaries to Como Creek near Montgomery School. They removed English ivy and invasive plant species from areas of the forest floor, as well as a massive patch of English ivy that was overtaking a large tree. They also cleaned up an area in the forest that had previously been modified for use as a paintball field and planted trees there that were donated by the Como Watershed Group. In their third and final week in Maillardville, the Katimavik participants presented their project, the Maillardville Environment Collage, at the Rochester, Cape Horn, and Alderson schools. The group presented not only the collage, but also delivered an entertaining and informative verbal presentation. They spoke to the children about the local ecology, the history of Maillardville, and what they could do to help preserve the local green spaces. They also engaged the children in various fun, nature-themed activities. During their last week in Maillardville, some of the other activities they participated in were garbage cleanup of local areas, visiting with André Michel at his art exhibit at Place des Arts, and attending the reception for the Olympic torch relay. At the end of the week, they returned to the beautiful and historical Minikata Lodge to discuss and reflect on their experiences.
At first glance, it seems like an average community. but when you look closer, it seems very unique, and it makes you think.
Each region has different people in it, and they all have different stories, and they all have different experiences, and it's just really cool to be able to meet them and talk to them.
I feel a connection to a place in another part of Canada now.
Katimavik is definitely not what I expected it to be.
C'est toute une expérience en fait, vivre avec 10 autres personnes dans la même maison. Mais c'est vraiment une bonne expérience.
The group living thing was a big aspect that I didn't really see coming. Usually you think you're going to learn about cooking and French, and you do, but you learn a lot more about people really than anything else.
Everybody's so interconnected.
And there was a quote on the poster that said, "Katimavik is a challenge like no other." Now I get the quote. It is a challenge like no other. I don't think I'll ever come across this experience again.
Le programme vaut à peine d'être vécu.
I learned that in the end we're all just people.
Somebody else's turn now.
Je suis fière d'être francophone.